Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Axis Group of Services under the Women's Development Scheme based upon the platform called Tele Prime. Session number 5, Accounting Basics Understanding of Accounting Basics. As a regular practice, we'll start we'll start the session with the fact of the day. Today's fact is, if the light is in your heart, you will find your way home. Okay, if the light is in your heart, you will find your way home. So try to learn, understand the fact, and try to implement in your daily lives. So, bird eye view means in the last session, what we discussed, we completed the accounting concept called business entity concept. The business entity concept means the owner is different from the business. And we completed the general entry number 1 and 2, where we try to learn and understand the cash received and paid to person. So what is the treatment if someone paid cash to us, or what is the treatment if we paid cash to someone? General entry number 3 and 4, cash deposited and withdrawn from the bank. Cash deposited and withdrawn from the bank. If what is the treatment and what is the general entry, what is the concept if we deposited cash into the bank and cash withdrawn from the bank, what we discussed in the previous sessions. And general entry number 5 and 6, here we understood the business entity concept. Cash received from owner and cash paid to owner, what we understood. So completely in a quick bird eye view review, we understood cash related receipts and payment concept. Now in this session, what is the learning objective? What is the learning objective under this session is, just a second. Yeah. So learning objective is we will try to understand, we are in the concepts called accounting concepts, meaning of capital and drawings, which we try to understand in the previous session, but today we'll help you with the meaning of capital and the drawings. And in this session, we'll learn entry number 7 and 8, that is related to check received or check issued to a person. And entry number 9 and 10, check received or issued to a owner. Same, in the previous session, we understood the same concept, cash received and paid to Mr. A. Here we are understanding check received and check issued to Mr. A. And in the previous session, we understood cash received and cash paid to owner. Here we are trying to understand check received and check issued to Mr. Owner. We will understand the treatment. Let us begin the session. What is the meaning of capital and the drawing? So there are capital. Capital means amount received from owner to start a business or to run the business. We received the money from the owner If you receive the money from the owner to start or to run the business, you need to call it as capital. That is the liability. We are the business. Owner is investing, right? We are receiving money as a capital. That is our liability in our books of accounts in the business. That's why the business entity concept is saying owner is different and the business is different. And what is the meaning of drawings? Drawings means amount taken by the owner for his personal purpose. If amount withdrawn or taken by the owner for his personal purpose, that you need to treat it as drawings. And in the given questions, in the practical life is different and the theoretical life is different. In the question, he will not mention the reason as personal withdrawal. If we mention it as owner taken cash, just you need to take it as a for personal use and book it as drawings. Until unless specifically mention it as amount withdrawn by the owner for business purpose, that will be the different case. Until unless it's mentioned, you need to treat all the amounts taken by the owner for personal use. You need to take it as a drawings. Clear? Any doubts? No doubts. So thank you, and let us discuss scenarios of these entries, these transactions, these situations. Okay, the entry number 7, general entry number 7 is check received from Mr. A. Check received from Mr. A. Check received means who received the check? We received, but who will collect the money from the check? Obviously, the bank will collect the money from Mr. A and it will deposit to our account. So, who is the receiver in this case? Bank is the receiver. Keeping check with us, there is no meaning, there is no use. That's a paper, right? Until unless it's deposited, it's an instrument. Okay, so here where you will see the word check, check represents a bank. Check represents a bank. So let us try to understand the entry. So you need to revise four steps of entries. Is step number 1 is read the transaction and understand in your mother tongue. Okay, we will try to understand in our mother tongue. Check received from Mr. A means Mr. A के पास से अपने अपन को check आया. Step number 2, identify the type of accounts involved in the transaction. So here, check is a personal account. Here, check we are not saying is check. Check, every check represent one bank. That's why bank is a name of the institution. That's why we are treating this check representing bank as a personal account. And next transaction is a Mr. A. Mr. A also a personal account. So here, step number 3 is apply the rules. So try to understand the revise the rule of a personal account. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. In this, check received means check received means here I think they mentioned the wrong rule. Check received. So here bank is the receiver. You need to debit the transaction. Okay. And personal account, personal account. Here Mr. A is the giver and you need to credit. Here, please break it down. It's a proper correct answer is check received means bank is the receiver. Receiver debit the receiver, credit the giver. Bank account debit to Mr. A account credit. Being check received from Mr. A and underline. Debit aspect is bank, credit aspect is Mr. A, and the narration or description and the underline. These are the four aspects in the given transaction. The given transaction. So please make a note here. This is the mistake. Rule is written here. Okay. will rectify. Now the entry number, general entry number 8, general entry number 8. So check received to Mr. A. Check received to Mr. A. Check issued to Mr. A. Sorry. Check issued to Mr. A. So as a regular practice, check is a personal account. Mr. A is a personal account. Here, check issued means bank is the giver, and credit, and Mr. A is the receiver. You need to debit. You need to debit. So here, please change the rule. Maybe by mistake, our presenter recorded. Okay. So Mr. A account debit. Mr. A is the receiver, and bank is the giver. Mr. A account credit, paying the check paid to Mr. A. Okay, so debit aspect, credit aspect, narration, description, and underline. This is debit aspect, credit aspect, and underline. Any doubt on this transaction? Simply we are applying the rules and we are getting the answer. Entry number 9 is general entry number 9 is check received from Mr. A owner. So as a business entity concept, we are receiving a cash from the owner. Okay, so we need to remember the word called capital. So here cash check is a personal account and Mr. A owner is a personal account. Here, check is the receiver, Mr. A, debit, and owner is the giver and the credit. So, owner is the giver, credit. So, bank account debit, Mr. A's capital account credit, Mr. A's capital account credit, and being the check received from Mr. Owner A, and debit aspect, credit aspect, narration and underline. Entry number 10 is check paid to Mr. A owner. Check paid to Mr. A owner. Check is a personal account. Mr. A owner is a personal account. So Mr. As per the rule, personal account, bank is the giver, and Mr. A is the receiver. So bank credit, Mr. A account, capital account debit. So here Mr. A's drawings. When owner takes the cash, we will call it as a drawings account. Okay. So Mr. A account drawings to bank account credit. So entry is being the check paid to Mr. A, debit aspect, credit aspect, narration and underline. So these are the transactions. We try to understand the transactions related to check. Okay, take check as a bank and a personal account. Please try to rectify this presenting mistake. Okay, we are requesting the coordinators and we are sharing these PPTs before this presentation start. Please double check and don't repeat the mistakes in the presentation. Thank you. And as a regular practice, this program we are running for a women's empowerment scheme. Let us understand the one more lady's message and try to understand her words and try to implement in your regular life. So she is Miss Guinea Rometti, CEO of IBM, CEO of IBM, and her message is don't tell others, don't tell others define you. Define yourself. Your value will be not what you know. It will be what you share. So this is the message she's saying and let us listen her words what she is saying.
She is on top of the world. Former IBM CEO Ginny Rometty is pulling back the curtain on her time as leader of one of the world's biggest tech. She is on top of the world. Former IBM CEO Ginny Rometty is pulling back the curtain on her time as leader of one of the world's biggest tech companies. Rometty became the first woman to head IBM back in 2012, and during her 8-year tenure, she transformed that company, focusing on developing quantum computing and AI technology while working to hire, retain, and promote women and people of color. Rometty's new book, Good Power, Leading Positive Change in Our Lives, Work, and World, details her rise from a challenging childhood to influential tech leader, and she joins us now. Ginny, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
Challenging upbringing is putting it mildly. So the book opens with a bang. It's not giving away too much to say. You're 16 years old, and you're supposed to move, but your father makes the announcement that he's leaving the family, and he's leaving your mother with no money. No money for food, no money for shelter, and the family's kind of on its back. How did that influence who you became?
Yeah, well, I think many times people think it's my father that influenced us, but what really influenced me was my mother's reaction to all of that. Because I was the one that walked in the garage and heard him say, I don't care what happens to you, I don't care what happens to any of you. For all I care, you can work on the street. And in that moment, I think my mother could have done one of two things. And what she chose to do instead was she had no college education. She had never worked a day in her life outside the home. But she said, look, this isn't how it's going to end. Mm-hmm. She got a little bit of education, got a little better job, a little bit of education more, a little better job. And what I took away from it, which is really what I want to share with a lot of people, my mom taught me, don't ever let someone else define who you are. You know, he wasn't going to define her as a single mother on food stamps. No way.
She was only 34.
She was only 34 with 4 kids. Mm-hmm. And so, but the other big thing I learned, which has got a lot to do with what I do today, it was the idea that access and aptitude are two different things. Like my mom wasn't dumb. She actually was really smart, but she just didn't have access to the type of education or those different pathways. And that has really influenced what I do. And it influenced my whole life after that.
So you open up about being a female leader in a very male-dominated tech industry, including a time I could not believe this, that you were told, and I apologize to our audience, but you were told to lose weight if you wanted to succeed, to move up the company ladder.
Yeah, well, I didn't, but
How did that impact you, though?
Well, you moved up.
You have to remember, this is now the 70s, early 80s, and how it impacted me was what I'll always remember about being a woman, and particularly a woman in tech, is I was often the only one in a room. And I think many people can identify with that feeling. And, instead of the negative, I think of as well the positive of it, right? Because what it made me do was I studied harder and harder because I thought, what I say is going to be remembered, right? So I don't want to look silly or stupid. And then over time, what it taught me, being this only one and being an only woman in many of these situations, was that idea about taking more risk. And I think a lot of people, I think, can identify this, that I was always nervous about it. At every new job, I was nervous. Mm-hmm. And it was my husband, same husband I have today, by the way, who, I don't know why I say that. It's been 43 years we'll be married.
Congratulations.
And he said to me one day when I was so nervous about a new job, he says, Jenny, why are you pausing? Do you think a man would react that way? And it taught me in that moment that growth and comfort will never coexist.
Yeah.
And it gives people, that's part of good power, this idea that you can create a positive change for yourself.
You also talk about you, we, us, and
do.
sort of looking at a bigger goal when you're able to, help yourself, provide for your family, and now how does this affect everyone else in the world? There's a lot of speculation on the state of our economy. What are your thoughts? I know you serve on many boards. And also, have you thought about running for anything or being a part of the political world more than you already are with this book coming out at this time?
I think part of why I wrote the book, there's a very good point about what the world needs now. It doesn't need power. It just needs good power to make a lot of change. And there's a lot of uncertainty in the economy. I don't have to you report on it every day. You had a lot of it this morning. I think the point, though, is there's going to be tension there for a long time. And instead of being and causing we, they, divides, like embrace tension and you will make progress.
Yeah.
And that's what I think we need in this economy.
Yeah.
Ever want to run for office? For anything?
Well, I'm going to stay focused on helping people get better jobs.
All right, Ginny
Like
Rometty, you took over a 100-year-old company, set it up for another 100 years in many ways. Thank you very much for being here. Good Power, the book, it goes on sale tomorrow. You're going to want to pick it up. We'll be right back.
Thank you very much, students. Let us continue our sessions. Next session. Thank you.